Welcome back to the GSTL studio. We got a lot of fans here, and it's so packed some people have to stand. Things are getting really, really heated right now for AZUBU. Even though they are in the lead, they're down to their final player, and it is Supernova.
Supernova is the one who has to defeat two players now if they want to clinch out the 2-0 victory and avoid the super ace match that we could have here. He's the last player for his team, the last one, and he will have to go through Alicia and then Innovation. Unless Axiom-Acer decides that it's better to send out another player.
Yeah.
Which is highly unlikely.
Very unlikely. I mean, the only player I could maybe see is Ryung, but I just don't think so. Not right now. Maybe in the past, but not today.
Yeah, maybe a few months ago, but the results that Ryung just got in the last few weeks, not really what you'd call like too consistent or really like too strong. It could be him, but I just don't see it. A few months ago, I would have said, yeah, Ryung is definitely an alternative, but at this point, I feel it has to be Innovation in a way. Yeah.
Ryung is holding some object in his hand that looked like fruit from Fruitland. That could come into play later.
That map was already played.
Yes, I think he stole it. He said totally should grab one on his way out. Well, we'll see what map Supernova has chosen. He is the master of builds. He's shown a different build to us every single time he's come out since the very beginning of the second round. The playoffs especially showing really, really exciting games. Totally different builds.
Similar a few seconds ago on camera, said Tanner now after he lost his match against Alicia. And Alicia is actually the one who could end things here. Supernova hasn't lost a game in a few matches now, and he could definitely defeat both of them, but it's going to be so difficult. He has shown a lot of different builds, he has the skills, he can pull it off. Can he really be the one player that his team needs right now to make sure that they don't go into this massive ace match? Because that's what they really wanted to avoid.
Well, there's that super slick looking trophy. One of these two teams has taken that home right after this. Whirlwind is the map that he's chosen. A map that I could see him trying to mech against Protoss on, but I just don't think today's the day you mess around with a composition that's that unstable. That's the composition that, yes, he has used in the past successfully, but it was a very specific situation, and I just don't see him going to something that's so volatile in a match that's so important.
Well, he said that he has been practicing mech a lot also in the old patches, and ever since the new one changed things up a little bit, he was trying to use his mech play a little bit. So it actually sounds like he is very experienced with the style in general, and knows a lot about the weaknesses and also the advantages that you have with it. And it could be something that surprises Alicia, even though he has seen it already once, since there are not a lot of trainings partners out there that you can practice with that use that.
Yeah, very true.
So we're going into the game right now. It could be the last one. We have Alicia going up against Supernova at the GSTL finals. The lead for Axiom-Acer. They need one more win. They have two players to accomplish that, to bring us into the Super Ace match. Will Supernova defeat both of them? Or are we going to see that Super Ace match later on? We're going to find out right now at the GSTL. Starting to the top left of Whirlwind, we have the Protoss player, the third player for Team Axiom-Acer.
Axiom-Acer.
Axiom-Acer just took down Symbol, brought his team into this situation, and he's one of two players that will potentially have to face the Terran. Starting to the bottom left of the map, it is his map choice, the last man standing for AZUBU.
AZUBU Supernova.
Quite a few AZUBU fans and Supernova fans as well. Supernova looking sleepy, but, you know, if he plays mech, it is a composition that is kind of slow and lumbering. And he is going to go Command Center first here, as you guys can see. He has queued up the extra SCVs. No barracks, no SCVs sent. And Alicia, on the other hand, which goes for your standard classic gateway expand.
Yeah, with Supernova, we have a player now that has said that he has so many strategies prepared for all the matchups that he hasn't shown us half of what he has up his sleeves. So he showed different strategies in nearly all of the games that he played in the recent past, and especially against Startel in the first round against Axiom-Acer. He showed us quite a significant variety of strategies that he can use. If he is able to pull two more off and get those wins against Alicia and then possibly against Innovation, that would be amazing for his team and would crown them to be the GSTL champion. But it's going to be a tough match for him, especially the last one. For now, his opponent is a Protoss player, and I just want to see what he's going to do this time.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty cool because it's a big map. We have a very fast gas fall up here. by Supernova after the CC first. And with the opening that we've seen from Supernova, he can still go down that very, very unusual mech path. Alicia, on the other hand, cuts out one gas, which is a smart choice for the map, and we'll be going for a faster Nexus as a result. No Zealot, and there's the Nexus before the SCV can eBay block.
Yeah, but it's a good scout. He gets the scout at the first position, so that will allow him to get in and see everything right from the beginning. He doesn't scout at the bottom right first, which would have given him a much more delayed scout. He sees the Nexus immediately, of course.
And this is not something that Alicia can look at and say, oh, but by this timing you're at bottom left. It's just not so clear-cut like that. So he actually has to go scout himself and could potentially also get unlucky.
And the bunker is already building for Supernova, by the way, so right at the front. We've seen a lot of games which is Stalker, Mothership Core, and a few units just try to sneak in. A super aggressive Protoss player can do a lot of damage with that if you skip on the bunker. Nothing that we see out of Supernova. He plays this absolutely calm and collected, makes sure that he has everything in position, and plays it a bit more defensive.
Second gas coming up for Supernova, and this is lending itself more to be, okay, I'm going mech, but you know, he has the SCV in such a way it could be for Banshees. I don't think so. But we don't really see Banshees too often in this matchup, which could catch Alicia off guard. He is getting a Forge up, as you would expect, and that is also paired with a wall. Notice that Alicia knows that Hellions are something that Supernova has thrown at him time and time again. Makes a tight wall with the Stalker and the Forge, so you can make a cannon to deal with Widowmine drops. There's the starport being made at home, so no proxy. The SCV just waiting over there just to see if there was a proxy made by Alicia himself.
Yeah, the Widowmines is something that Supernova has used in various matchups, and he got really good results out of this. So he wants to go for the drop once again, whereas Alicia with the Forge is already heading into the armor upgrade there. Usually gateway heavy follow-up with this. We see a lot of charge loss and Archons with the upgrade, with upgrade heavy armor tech. And a scan in the main base is basically revealing everything that Alicia has.
Yeah, that's actually a great scan there. And this also lets him know, hey, Widowmines are not going to be useful if the cannons are up. And on the other hand, Hellion run by is not going to be too useful later either, as long as he has one unit there. He hasn't made any Hellions, but if he considers using them later on, that's important for him to know. And we actually don't have any cannons. Alicia is trying to wait until the last second to make them, which is smart. Don't want to use those resources when you could be using them to make assimilators, get additional probes out, make sure you hit your pylons right on time.
Yeah, so we could see some damage done with the Widowmines.
Second barrack started. This means we're definitely not going to see mech. And there's double tech lab going down as well, and all the tech for Alicia.
And the mothership, sorry, the drop is on the way. So now that's the big question. How much damage can he actually do with this? Can he be successful and really take down a few of the drones?
There are no cannons.
The sentries at the front are already guarding this, but he expects Hellions. He doesn't expect Widowmines.
Yeah, and with no cannons, he actually could do a lot of damage. 2 Widowmines, 4 Marines. He sees it coming a long way away. If maybe he could target to kill the Widowmines where they burrow, but it's not going to happen.
Immediately the speed boost. Immediately upon realizing that he was already spotted by a pylon. And now he's trying to move in. Baits out the photon overcharge. Positions the Widowmine on the top of the ramp. And oh, one of the sentries is
He's
gone.
going to get 2?
He's going to get another one.
Oh, nice micro actually. Alicia saves it. And the Widowmine is burrowed. It's going to be a while before he can actually get that up. You know, the choice to leave the Marines there like that, I'm not so sure about, because if he saves the Marines, then he can actually use them to kill the cannon that's warping. But we'll see. It looks like the cannon will actually finish just in time.
I don't think so. Okay, now he moves everything away. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
He actually doesn't even need to leave that probe there, but he decides to.
Gets one and runs.
And the sentry! Goodbye!
Sentry goes down, and did he save? Yeah, he saved the other Widowmine as well.
Yep. Back at home, combat shield, stim, +1. He's getting ready for a follow-up attack. And the medevacs are going to come out here pretty soon as well. Reactored medevacs, where he can have so much more potential to do damage. And here comes a second medevac. And with the Widowmine to support, this is actually going to be very annoying. Yeah. He also already used his overcharge.
He has the Widowmine currently at the ramp, and that means that only Wallbins are going to do something here. If he walks up the ramp again, he's going to lose another unit.
Yep. And he's actually going to lose that probe, it looks like. But still, very annoying. And actually, he can fall back to this Widowmine. So very, very annoying. There's that second overcharge, and he gets away. Not even a single unit lost.
Really well played by Supernova so far. And back home, everything is just business as usual. He's looking really strong. He has nearly the same amount of harvesters as his opponent. He has his complete production up. We have him with a +1 attack upgrade, Stim combat shield. He's pulling everything out here. Goes for another base, and that Widowmine is still active here.
What's the story on that Raven? Do you think he will use a Seeker Missile? I think that's probably the best choice. Auto turrets could get something done here.
That drop is going to do
Triple
work.
drop.
We have the Widowmine still at the ramp, and that is doing a lot if he goes in. Here comes the Widowmine, here come the rest of the Medivacs. Everything is there. Bam, Stalker down, and there shouldn't be any more energy for another photon
Raven
overcharge.
is coming in. The Raven is coming into the natural.
That main base is screwed.
Yep. He's actually attacking the cannon here, but still a very annoying distraction to be dealing with here. The main base is screwed, like you said. He will actually push this back, but the kiting here is taking out a few more Zealots.
He's taking out a few more Zealots, and he can always just lift away. There's not a lot of bounce here. We have the High Templar can do maybe a little bit of work with the feedback. He killed one, I think.
Yeah, one did go down. The second one, not enough energy to actually take the fall.
Better defense from Alicia than I thought he would be able to pull off, but still, he is falling behind.
Yep. And I don't know about this second drop. He's not going to really get anything done here. He's trying to bait, I think, into the Widowmine. But that was definitely a result. He will actually get that Widowmine shot off on the Zealots.
Yeah, Widowmine shot gets off, and once again at the front, that Raven is pulling down another turret.
With a cannon there, I think that a Secret Missile could have been better. That Widowmine is still here, and the Observer will clear this up. But at what cost? Will he actually walk into it? Yep, that was a huge mistake.
This is another one there. And here comes the drop once more.
He just has to make sure he doesn't get caught into that trap that so many Terran players get into where they feel they have to continue to drop, and then they start wasting units over and over again.
Well, the thing is, he has more Harvesters, he has the third base, and he still has the drop going strong. Another drop with Marauders is now down at the natural, taking out the Canara, trying to in the main base, losing even more. No unit centers in the main, he's completely focused on drop at the natural, and that allows the units to take down another pylon before they have to head out. Even a scan to show him exactly where those High Templars are, so that he knows when to back off.
Yeah, that was a nice scan there. Something a lot of players would have skipped. There, that pylon that's there could actually really annoy this base, perhaps force it to lift. I don't think the Commander quite has vision of it. It's pretty close. Hard to say 100%, but I know the pylon and the probe together would have seen that command center by now, so he could warp in. And he does. 4 Zealots warping in down there as we speak.
Supernova is doing a great job against Alicia so far.
Yeah.
He's playing really well. And Alicia now deciding that it's finally time to turn things around a little bit and put the pressure onto the Terran player, not just being the defender the entire game.
Yeah, Alicia's position is uncomfortable when it comes to economy. He has no third Nexus, his opponent has a third Command Center, and the better Harvester count, something that he must realize by now. And even the Raven actually assisting him here and eliminating that Observer. The thing that Alicia does have is the much better upgrades plus the better tech. So if he can use this somehow, like by moving across the map as you can see him doing right now, then that might be one way he can turn this around. He's going to lose this pylon, needs to cancel, he'll cancel.
We will have very soon the first Ghosts in the game, and the +2 attack upgrade takes some time, but still with the Ghosts alone he could do a lot here. He has the better army supply. He's in a great position. He just needs to make sure that those storms are not going to do too much damage.
Feedback's actually the choice for him right now, and uses one of those storms, so the Medevac's essentially eliminated here, but the storms didn't hit a whole lot of army.
Yeah, they didn't, and now into a choke point with the Zealots. Probably not what he really wants to do. So that gives Supernova a little bit more wiggle room and also more time.
Here come those Ghosts. He wants to beat back the Raven, so that's why these auto turrets go down. They can also tank, actually. Zealot charges are all wasted on the auto turrets, but still...
Great storm that we saw there, and that storm could change everything. Suddenly it's Alicia who has the better army supply, and the third base have to be left.
Yeah, you talked about those storms that were so great. The storm that looked like it missed actually was intentionally behind the army, so that the army would have to walk into it on retreat. Archon's coming in here to tank. The Zealot charges up, and here we go. Guardian still goes up on the Zealots, and they are rushing through.
Alicia is charging in right now with what he has. He wants to press his advantage. There are 2 bunkers, and he is going to take them down. The SCV is moving in, trying to go for the repair, but the bunker is already history. And Alicia right now has so much momentum going for him. He warps units in across the map. He's at 74 army supply against 68. Has the better upgrades, and is about to complete the armor upgrade, the second one.
Supernova's trying to hold on until 2-2. He has actually replaced his third command center. During this, Alicia takes his own third. It is spotted. Alicia cannot commit to the natural. On the other hand, that was a nice attempt here to try to get an EMP on the Ghost. Doesn't work. I think that what you should just focus on instead is just holding that third command center, making sure it's lifted. He was so scared of the Ghost and the medevac.
He really tries to just get this one EMP in and then move out. But very well played by Alicia. He was so pressured, and then he decided to put some aggression on himself. And the storms really, really changed the course of this battle. Without that storm, I don't think he would have been able to do too much, and that Supernova is in a much better spot.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Still, better Harvester count for Supernova. The Zealots here just enough to make sure the Command-Center can't sit pretty.
And we have Supernova now with basically the same decision that Alicia went for earlier. He said like, yep, I can hold here. I will send a few units over to make sure that you have to deal with my aggression in your base, that you have to focus on your own main base and cannot just put all your energy into taking me down.
Yeah, he's actually already taken out one pylon. Second pylon to fall here as well.
So fly blocking his opponent heavily.
Yep, and he's actually trading really well against these Zealots.
That means he cannot warp in any units for defense.
Oh, that's actually a really good point. And he's actually just going to go for the natural here. The third base, that is to say. And he will get it. So Alicia feels pressured to attack. There are double bunkers, even auto turrets here. EMP's great on almost every single Zealot. Where are the storms? Here they come, but they hit mostly Zealots, actually.
The Zealots are going down here. They're melting away, but so do huge chunks of the Terran army. The problem is that the meat shield for the Protoss isn't there anymore. And suddenly, Alicia getting crushed there. That third is gone. The supply as well. A 20 supply lead for the Terran player. Moving down that ramp right now. Where are the storms? Where's the damage? The Archons at the front trying, but there's so much Terran.
He needs one more storm, and there it is on top of the Terran army, but it's not quite enough to kill it. The SCBs are pushing, and he goes. He targets the natural here. A few Zealots being warped in, but it's not enough. Archon trapped by SCBs, not something you see every day.
And we have the Marauders still going strong at the natural, pulling back for now since the Photonova charge is already there, but the rest of the Terran army is just chasing down everything that Alicia has on the field. A great storm. Once again, the Protoss player turning around, trying to pull it off somehow. Fighting his heart out here, but most of the Archons already low in shields, and the rest of the army that Supernova controls is on the way back. Maybe those two drops can even cut off a few Archons there.
Yeah, you know, he's got, his Harvester count has been reduced, but he's got such a strong army right now, 80 army supply. He has double E-base, so he can start 3-3, go double upgrades faster than Alicia can. He's also got that third base that's really, really important. He's landing it, but smartly landing it closer to Alicia so that he can also defend the base while attacking so much easier, so much more comfortably here.
And who needs SCVs when you got mules?
Exactly.
One medevac taken out, the second one trying to get into the main base. If he calls down the mules, on the other hand, it will limit his vision on the map since he can't use as many scans as he wants to. But with 5 mules in there, his income is skyrocketing, and he knows exactly how to utilize this. Supernova, once again, with the edge here. We have him with 3 bases against 2, and the Terran army is on the way.
He's got a mostly Marauder composition as well, which is helping him a lot. But don't forget, he has no Ghosts right now. And no Ghost means no EMPs for dealing with those High Templar, dealing with the Storms. He forces another cancel, though, limiting his opponent's economy. He knows that right now, until he gets the Ghost out, he just needs to contain exactly, precisely what he's doing right now.
He's just containing him. He knows that as long as there's no third base for Alicia, he is going to be golden. But Alicia is moving down. He knows he has to break this, but there's a really good spread on the Terran units and a really nice concave. The Storm's doing some damage, but are they really doing enough? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I mean, he does actually trade really nicely here. This is something that's a totally different story, on the other hand. Illuminating the mining at the third base. That's what he needs to do. He needs to do little things like this. He forces a lift again. Now he's got a Colossus in the mix as well. He's starting to switch techs.
Nice. Really well done by Alicia. Those Zealots doing a lot of work at the SCVs, and denying the mining time at the third base is very crucial for him. The army supply is still in favor of the Terran player. The 3 Ghosts, very crucial. Very beefy army composition as well. Very Marauder heavy.
And Supernova is starting to run out of minerals in his main base. Something that is also happening to Alicia very rapidly here. The natural is also mined out. Third base being remade once again. There's no Terran army to contest it this time, so it will finish. But still, better Harvester count for Supernova. He's got the mules. He's getting the Ghosts in. But he's not aware of, he's not aware of the transition here.
There are no mineral patches at the natural for Supernova anymore either because of the mules that he called down earlier. So now we have him on one mining base, and the same is true for Alicia. The better income, of course, for Supernova, but this is something that should worry him. He should maybe just reposition the command center that's currently in the main base.
111 army supply to 83. Widowmine here helps out a little bit, but he's going to need more than that.
He has the bunker there.
Yeah, the bunker will finish in time, and he should be able to save this. Even the medevacs coming home can actually heal some of those.
But you know, with 45 Harvesters, a repositioning of the command center and the main base would really go a long way now.
I completely agree. I'm a little bit surprised we haven't seen it just yet. He does not have any Vikings, and this is going to become, the longer the game goes on, a problem. I think he wants to actually try to end it right now, or at least get this third base. He needs to do something big here.
If he snipes the third, that would be amazing for him. Go in, snipe the third, back off again. He sees the Colossi. He knows they are there.
He's so Marauder heavy, 25 Marauders, more Marauders than Marines,
God, if he
9 Ghosts!
And EMP hits not enough.
Not enough. He's got some snipes ready.
Nice zoning out here. Good position for him. They've got the storm against the ghost, and all of the
Great
ghosts are
concave.
gone.
All
But
the
he got
ghosts-
an EMP off.
Yeah, all the ghosts are gone, but he doesn't have any more buffer for the Colossi. Archon made here.
Uh-oh.
Alicia is on the run. Supernova trying to push up the ramp. The Colossi pushing back at the flank with the storms.
And that flank was really good here. 82 army supply still against 38. He doesn't really look like Alicia has it. Where is that entire army for Supernova? So much is in Medivacs.
Yeah, so much is in Medivacs, and he's got the next wave coming across the map. But you make a good point. The army, the attack power here is a lot lower than it looks if you just look at 78 to 34, especially because it doesn't have any answer for those Colossi.
He's getting the Vikings now. He's building the Vikings. Still has not repositioned any of his command centers at the natural or in the main base. The only mine gas right now. He needs more minerals.
Yep. Notice though, Alicia also, on the other hand, does not really have any mining left at his natural, so the income is similar and actually oftentimes better for Supernova because of those mules.
He repositions. Command center in the main base has been lifted and repositions to the third base location.
Another drop here. A few units actually do escape. He does not have enough energy to actually be killed by the feedback. And a few Vikings are starting to join the mix. +3 attack is also almost done.
Alicia is trying to stabilize again. He has that income at the third base now. He has the base secured, and he wants to just get enough units into the game that he can defend it for a little bit longer. But we have Supernova moving out, and this time we have the first few Vikings. They can help him with the zoning. And also the Protoss players, be so careful. Yes, you don't want to neglect the defense at the third, but if you do too much, then your opponent just walks into the natural, takes it down, walks into the main base, and eliminates the pack.
This is something very Supernova-like. We've seen this a lot in the past. It's just to pull the SCVs when he's ahead. Despite the fact that he has that third command center, he doesn't have to do this. He wants this. He wants the win right now. He wants the blood right now. He is going for it. There's so many Colossi, though, and a few Archons making this a little bit tougher to actually engage with SCVs. He's repairing some Medivacs, and here we go.
Yes,
Time warp
there
preemptively.
as well. The High Templar is gone. We have the Photon overcharge. He's going up the ramp. He's putting all of those Colossi into a corner of the Vikings. And here we go. There are no storms. Where's that last High Templar? He doesn't have the energy. Here comes the entire Terran army. And with 92 army supply and so much DPS, he takes on everything. All of those Colossi are already gone. He's losing every single unit. There's nothing anymore. GG. Supernova takes the game and forces out the ace player.
Wow. What a crazy game. He just took control of the game in the mid-game. Alicia had some great comebacks in the game. Took some really nice engagements, some good harassment, but at the end of the day, Supernova just was able to take the big fights. And some of the engagements Alicia had, his Zealots were not able to participate in the fight. They were all wasting their charges on, auto turrets and things like that. They're not able to get up the ramp and then having to pull back. And every time Supernova got a few of those Zealots for free, it really hurt the pushing power. And Supernova now is going to play a TVT against Innovation to decide which one of these teams, who wins the second round here.
That was a crazy good game. That was really well played, and Supernova just with excellent decision making. I mean, the player kind of has to be Innovation. We talked about the chance, the possibility that it might be Ryang, but the problem with Ryang is that on paper it looks strong, but all those wins that he had against big Terran players in the past were just so long ago that it shouldn't come into play, especially since in the GSTL in the recent matches he has mostly losses. So Innovation, I mean, I would be so surprised if it wasn't him. It has to be him now.
It has to be
Even
him.
though it's against a Terran player in this particular matchup. I mean, Supernova himself actually not too shabby against Terran. Keep in mind, when they were going up against Startail, Supernova was the last player that was sent out against Bomber, and he took it.
Consider also that this match may be played twice. If Supernova loses against Innovation, they may actually both pick that as their ace player to the super match that decides everything.
Yeah, definitely true. That's actually a really good point. We're not quite sure if they're going for Symbol or if they're going for Supernova, but I don't know.
This is a really tense one. We've actually gone all the way down to the wire on our second day. This is the ace match of the all-kill, and then after that we could have a second ace match that decides everything. AZUBU with a great score yesterday, the 4-1, but today they're not as dominant. They called upon Supernova here, and that game that we just saw wasn't really about the builds necessarily, just more so about his decision-making and his play in the late game, the macro.
The two Widow Mines at the beginning in the main base and this late robotics that we saw for Alicia, who just didn't have the detection there. So many kills on the Widow Mines, and also in very strategical positions where you could make sure that everything that comes up the ramp will have to go through the radius of the Widow Mine. Then the drops, constant aggression, and then suddenly Alicia with these comebacks that he started, but Supernova went for the counter aggression, held at the natural. So it was just a great game. I'll love to see that, and I cannot wait for our next game, which is definitely going to be a Terran versus Terran. And we have the ace player, the team Axiom-Acer, it is.
Innovation.
Surprise, surprise, innovation.
The camera pan made me worried that we might see Ryung, and I was like, oh my god, am I wrong?
Yeah, for a second I was really looking, I was like, guys, I love Ryung, but the recent results don't justify that big.
This is the match that everybody's been waiting for. This is the one that everybody is expecting. Tell your friends, spread the word. Innovation is in the booth. He is the ace player. He is the best Terran versus Zerg player in the entire world, but today he plays a Terran versus Terran.
Yeah, TVT against Supernova. And Supernova has shown us crazy strategies against Zerg and against Protoss. We have not seen him in a TVT in the GSTL after he showed us this change in builds.
Yeah. This is actually... I mean, I cannot even believe what we're about to see. Innovation, it looks invincible for so long. He lost his match yesterday to Ragnarok in his best matchup. He is the best player in the world for Terran vs. Zerg, and he lost it. And now he's playing the match in TBT, the matchup where people have jokingly called his Achilles heel, where he's lost very pivotal and important matches in the Premier League of WCS Korea to Terrans. And he has to play it in the ace match, and if he loses here, it's all over, and AZUBU takes the entire GSTL. So he's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders right now.
And Supernova, on the other hand, he just smiles. He sits there, he's all smiles, he's happy. And if you think about it, he hasn't lost any matches in the playoffs. Yeah.
Oh, he's on fire. He is doing so well right now. And
you know, he 2-0'd Innovation at DreamHack Bucharest. That was in September. He 2-0'd him there. Lost the last game against Ryung.
It's all about today. Supernova clearly feeling pretty good when it comes to late game and some early aggression. We have not seen Innovation play today. He's coming off of a loss yesterday, a tough loss.
I would rather see Innovation with early aggression than with girly aggression, because the latter usually doesn't go all too well.
No girly aggression. That's not what I want to see. Supernova was just told in chat what we said. He thinks it's funny. But this match is actually so important. Innovation has everything to lose too, because if he loses here, his entire team loses with him. If AZUBU loses, then we may see this exact same best of one happen yet again to determine everything. So for them, it's at least a little bit more comfortable here.
This is a really strong matchup, by the way, for Supernova. He has a really good win ratio here. I can't
Neighbor Webtoons. Some sort of joke here, I suppose. And this is actually so tense. Everything comes down to these two players. It could end here. And Supernova is looking in high spirits right now. Innovation serious as usual, takes a sip.
Innovation lost yesterday.
Yeah.
He wants to redeem himself. But this is crazy. Supernova is so good in Terran versus Terran. He's so great in this matchup now. And he won against Innovation in September.
Oh my god, Kari, I can't believe
this game started.
I can't believe we're about to commentate this. Is this real? Innovation versus Supernova on my favorite map, Frost. Giant, 4-player map. And that we see Beck from both of them, and this is going to be a long, intense, grueling battle that could decide everything. A whole season's worth of work for both teams. Axiom-Acer leading the charge, being so far ahead when you looked at the actual rankings per team, but AZUBU creeped up behind him, crushed the playoffs, and we're going into what could be our final match.
We are going into Innovation versus Supernova, ladies and gentlemen. It's the GSTL Finals 2013, the Season 2. Aces Innovation, he's ready. It's his first game today, going up against Supernova, who just defeated Alicia. Supernova, great in Terran versus Terran. Innovation, of course, one of the best players in the entire world. This is the matchup where he struggles the most in comparison to his TVP and TVZ. We are going in the game right now here at the GSTL. Axiom-Acer going up against Super Innovation versus Supernova. Brought to you by Caldon Wolf.